Hi, everyone, and welcome back to DSS Break. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here live every other week to talk about data science experiences and best practices with leading data professionals in a 15-minute break. I'm Anna, founder of Data Science Salon, and I'm live streaming here from our headquarters located in the heart of the Miami, right next to the Design District. And on today's break, I'm really excited to have Bob back here, back on the show. Bob was actually here. We just talked before, right as COVID hit. So there's been so many changes. And Bob is the vice president and head of data science at Freewheel. They're part of Comcast. And together with his team, Bob develops a lot of really innovative advertising products for television and premium video. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and also not going to dive too deep though, because Bob is going to be speaking at our upcoming event in New York, which is focused on this topic. And if you want to get more information, you will have to sign up to see him in person. Thank you so much for being back with us, Bob.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
So let's go ahead and kick off with, for the folks that haven't seen you before and are new, I know you've been with Freewheel, which is a Comcast company, for over 7 years now. What is your background and how did you get into the media industry?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I've always been in sort of advanced analytics, but I came into media in 2010 when I joined with a company called Visible World, which built advanced addressable advertising technology for the cable industry.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015, that company was acquired by Comcast, and we became part of what is now known as Freewheel, which is really an ad tech company within Comcast that builds advanced advertising technology for the industry at large. And it was really the right time to come into media and advertising, because it was really just as the industry began transforming and becoming much more analytically and data driven.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. It sounds like, and you got kind of absorbed by Comcast, and they are lucky to have you there for sure. And what do you find particularly exciting about, machine learning, data science? And I mean, I'm sure I kind of know what the answer is going to be, but what do you like, aside from what the buzz is right now, what is exciting to you? As a person that's been in the industry,
Well, I mean, of course, there's a lot of exciting things going on in the AI space right now, but there's also a lot of very exciting things going on in media and advertising. And so it's really that intersection of the changes that are happening in media and advertising and in data science and in artificial intelligence and machine learning that create these incredible opportunities for technologists and problem solvers to really innovate in this space. If you look at how people are consuming media today, it's really across a wide variety of video platforms, including traditional TV, streaming services, digital channels. And that can make it difficult for advertisers to really reach their audiences in a way where they can, target specific audience segments, measure against them, and sort of attribute how their sales are driven through through that advertising.
Right.
So it creates opportunities for people in the data space to create innovative new applications that support those advertisers and also support suppliers. So those who have advertising that they're selling, we can look at ways to optimize ad spend, optimize yield management. And there's really never been more opportunity than now to work on advanced data science applications in the media space, really due to this pace of change and just the total volume of data that's now available.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, you guys probably have probably one of the top 3 industries, the data amounts, right? Like next to healthcare and finance and all that stuff, right? So
for sure.
And what are some of the projects that you're currently working on at Freewheel that you're excited about?
Yeah, and I'm excited to go into some detail on this on June 8th, but just to highlight a couple of the areas that we're actively working on. One I mentioned is really around ad scheduling and yield management. So this is a space where we're using machine learning, mathematical optimization techniques to drive revenue for ad publishers that we work with. In fact, you mentioned that we had spoken a couple of years back, and at that time I had given a presentation around applications of operations research in media, and that's still a very active area for us today. So that continues, and I could see that going for some time. Another active area of work is really around forecasting. So forecasting plays a huge role in the advertising business because it's critical to understand how advertisers should place their media to generate the most return on their ad spend.
Right.
So we're actively developing advanced machine learning capabilities for forecasting ad viewership and inventory across a number of very complex use cases. So, these forecasting capabilities really drive how advertisers buy media and how sellers monetize their inventory. So very important area. And then another one I would highlight is what I would call automated content classification applications. So this is a space where we could analyze video and create metadata around it that could be used by advertisers to target advertisements within that video content, right?
Right.
So it really provides advertisers enhanced capability to make sure that their ads are playing, where they want them to play for the most relevant audiences. So this could include things like automated classification of show genres, ratings, or really any attribute that an advertiser might look for that they want to buy against. And
right.
then, another one I'll just add briefly is around identity resolution. So we talked about sort of the multi-platform nature of how viewers, consume content today. And so there's a lot of work around, how do we connect data across platforms to drive a deeper understanding of how ads are viewed and consumed, and how we can best reach, targeted audiences for advertisers.
Mhm.
So that's another very active area for us.
Cool. No, I mean, it sounds like, there's a lot of really exciting work being done there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you guys hiring at all?
Yeah. Well, we just fulfilled, an open role that we had, and we're just seeing growth along all these areas. So I expect to see it continue to grow over the next year and a few years.
Yeah, well, the reason I ask is there's always people out there looking, so we always
we're always looking for talented individuals, and excited to connect with folks that are interested in getting into the space.
Cool. And what are some of the tools or techniques that you and your teams that are using that are working really well and that you're excited about?
Yeah, there's a couple that I'd probably call out. We are big users of cloud-based technology, specifically doing a lot of work with AWS. One of the areas we're doing more with now is around graph databases, right? So graph databases like AWS Neptune, for example, allows us to build identity resolution capabilities across disparate data sets.
Mm-hmm.
We do actively use Databricks to process many of our data workflows. And then on the machine learning side, we have folks who have begun to use TensorBoard to visualize machine learning network architectures, data flows, and provide performance measurements for some of the different models that we built. And this also helps us around tracking historical experimentation and developing sort of a dashboard that lets us compare different models, and really accelerates the development of machine learning modeling. Beyond that, I would say we're excited to explore some of the potential use cases for large language models and generative AI, just like everybody else. I think what we could expect is that over the next few years, there'll be applications of that, throughout all industries, and ours will be no different.
Right. Yeah. My next question was actually going to be pretty much about that, as kind of what are some of the main, trends impacting the media and advertising industry in the next few years.
Yeah.
Do you have any other ones?
Yeah. Well, I think AI is really going to touch many advanced use cases within an advertising. And I think the impact it's going to have is really driving greater engagement between advertisers and consumers, right? So AI will, for example, be able to help inspire new creative content for advertising that will better resonate with consumers. It'll allow for technology that provides greater targetability of ads. It will allow for enhanced audience inference through data And it will also create greater contextual relationships between content and the ads that air in it. And this will actually provide an interesting opportunity for publishers who use it to want to create more immersive experiences for their consumers. And if we think about things like improved recommendations, shoppable ads, or augmented reality that's tied to advertisements or content, this will impact all parts of the advertising business, including how we measure ads, how we value an ad, and how people experience advertising. So we're really just scratching the surface there. So I think you'll see increased acceleration across all of those, in the next coming years.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. Yeah, I definitely like the whole way shopping has changed and everything, like with the whole, just like the whole landscape and how everything's done, it's very different. And I think, yeah, as you said, it's just like, it's with the AI thing, it's going to be like in the next 5 years, we'll be talking about different things again, right?
Yeah, so for sure.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Bob, and for sharing your experience. It was really a pleasure to have you, and I'm really excited to see you, in person in New York on June 8th, where we're going to be getting together with our media and advertising community. So we're really excited to see everybody again. We're going to be in the Nomad area, which is like a fun area, one of my favorites, and you could check out the details. We're going to share a link. And yeah, we're literally getting close to being sold out because we're only going to have 150 people. So if you guys really want to go, you should definitely get a ticket, because if in person it's very limited, but we will live stream. So if you miss out, you can always catch this live, which is really cool. Now everything that we do is hybrid. So, well, thank you so much again, and everybody have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. Bye.
Great. Thank you.